800 milligrams. Yo, what's going on? It's someone that's no one, and welcome to today's report. Today's report was sent in by Ben. The drugs used, diphenhydramine and nicotine, at a dose of 800 milligrams. The route of administration was orally through ZQuil and Benadryl. Gender, male. Age, 19. Prior experience, Lyrica, Vicodin, DPH, opiates, Ativan, Ambien, alcohol, and nicotine, and the setting was in his house in Chicago. So this is an account of a regular user's experience where they decide to take a high dose and they end up seeing quite a bit. So it's pretty interesting. I'm sure you guys are going to like it. And without further ado, let's dive right into it. When I started taking DPH, it was in the form of ZQuil because I couldn't sleep. I was only 17 and I'm 19 now, so I've been taking this stuff at least 3 times a week in 50 milligram doses for around 2 years. In between now and then, I tried and was addicted to a lot of different drugs. Lyrica, Vicodin, Ativan, Ambien, and alcohol, just to name a few of the many things I found in various medicine cabinets and around the house. And at the time of my DPH trip, I was pretty much off of everything except cigs and Lyrica. When I was addicted to all of this stuff, I became very interested in pharmacology, so I did research on a lot of different drugs and the effects, and Benadryl was one of them. Because I took it so often and mixed it with the stuff I like to take, I wanted to know if it was dangerous. It was weird to me how I had been taking this stuff for a while at this point and never knew about the effects it can have on you at delirium doses, and they fascinated me. I took a box of Benadryl from my grandparents and I had my own bottle of ZQuil. I drank the whole bottle, which I figured out comes out to about 550 milligrams of DPH, and took 10 25 milligram pills from the box, and that comes out to about 800 milligrams. It was about 10 p.m. and I was playing something on my computer at the time. It was either GTA 4 or World of Warcraft. I can't remember. After about 30 to 45 minutes, I got the typical muscle relaxant feeling and felt really heavy arms and legs and got extreme dry mouth. An hour in, I found it really hard to focus, and opening my eyes to look at my monitor hurt, like looking at your phone on full brightness after just waking up. I was typing to my friend in Discord, and he asked if I had been taking anything because it was a jumbled mess. I didn't want him to know I was on anything because he knew about my history of addiction and was worried about me. So I tried focusing really hard on typing, "No, LOL, just some Benadryl," which took 15 minutes, and decided to close Discord because I thought it was best not to type anymore as to not give myself away. My first order of business when I knew it kicked in was to turn on my YouTube playlist and go smoke a cigarette because I loved music and jammed out for a bit while I was on my phone sitting outside in the middle of the night in a terrible neighborhood in Chicago. This is where the experience gets blurry. I don't remember what I did on my phone, but the next day I found I just had sent a bunch of jumbled text to my online friends. Some of them were just random jumbles of letters, others were half sentences that didn't make sense, some were just memes or random pictures with no context. Back to my trip, I got the urge to urinate, so I went inside to go to the bathroom, ended up taking a shower for some reason, and came back through the open door to my living room, where my computer was, and I saw something like a baby crawling on my ottoman, and it freaked me out for a minute, and I was kind of scared to go back to my desk. This is where I feel that my trip differs from others. I realized it was a hallucination after a minute or two, and just walked through the door to my desk, and it wasn't there anymore. I sat at my desk listening to Faces by Mac Miller because I thought it was fitting for some reason. I looked at the cables on my desk, and they were moving by themselves, kind of like snakes slithering, and then I noticed a small figure about 2 or 3 inches tall on my desk. I can't exactly recall what it was doing or what it looked like, but another one appeared, and I just let them do their thing on my desk while I looked at 4chan. I want to say about 30 minutes go by, and I turn around and catch an old couple sitting there looking at me, and quickly turning around when I saw them. I turned back to my desk and back to them and caught them looking again. I got up, and some of my exercise equipment turned into snakes. I just stood there looking at the old people and the snakes. I look over to the other room, and there's the same baby crawling up and around the filing cabinet, and I thought, somebody better come get their kid before he hurts himself. And I headed to the bathroom and stood above the toilet trying to pee, and I felt like something was watching me. This is the only time I felt something sinister was present throughout the trip. I walked outside the bathroom and looked around. Behind a pillar, an extremely tall man in all black in a plague doctor outfit tried to hide, but wasn't doing a very good job, so his mask, hat, and dress were sticking out a bit. This is the part of the trip I felt scared and thought I was genuinely in danger. I knew it was a hallucination deep down, but it's like my brain completely ignored that and flooded with anxiety and bad thoughts. I ran to my living room and sat on the couch, and there were a bunch of people sitting in rows in front of me, looking away from me, including the old couple, like I was waiting at the DMV. I had a conversation with some good young-looking guy that went something like, "Hey, your bags are over there," and he pointed to a backpack on the ground, which wasn't even mine, and I didn't even own a backpack in general. I just said, "Thanks," and I don't remember anything else from that night, except I had a couple more conversations with those people, but I couldn't remember exactly what. The next day I woke up after sleeping for what my mom told me was 18 hours, and I felt like I was going through opiate withdrawal all over again, minus the restless leg syndrome. I did a dumb thing and drank half a bottle of ZzzQuil, attempting to get the experience from last night, but all I got was ants on the edge of stuff, dry mouth, muscle relaxant, and the music enhancement. I still take it 3 to 5 times a week in 250 milligram doses for muscle relaxation and music enhancement, and plan to do a gram trip when I stop taking it for a bit to let my tolerance die down completely and report back.